I am now videoing. So Liam, sit down and behave.
Yeah, Liam.
Okay, so guys, so I've asked you to construct the locus of points equidistant between 2 points. Okay, so I've asked, we talked about it last time, what do I mean by the locus of points?
I think you mean when 2 points cross. I think.
I don't. So it was also called, yesterday I asked you to do the perpendicular bisector. Okay?
Yeah.
Perpendicular means?
Right.
Yeah. At 90 degrees. Bisector means?
It's like through. Yeah.
Through the middle. Okay? So I said to you, here are 2 points, you've got to do it. So, do you remember how to do it?
Yes.
Okay? So, you get your compass, you put it at point, let's say point A, point B. I said open your compass up more than halfway, and you're going to draw your arc. Okay? Then you put your compass at point B, you make sure it's the same distance, and you draw your arc again. Okay? And we are interested, and sorry Hermione, obviously you've got your compasses. Where they cross, that line goes directly in the middle, and it should be at right angles. You can see how bad the line is, because that's not a right angle at all. But, so I did mention briefly, obviously it didn't sink in, that this is a locus of points, because this line shows all points that are equidistant from A and B.
Yeah.
What does equidistant mean? Equal distance. Yeah, same distance. Right? Now, the locus of points is basically saying if you followed a path that was equidistant between 2 points, alright, that's what it would be. So the locus of points is the path that shows all points. Yeah. I don't. I would have expected you to have provided your own since you knew what was going to happen. Yesterday was a bit more. Right. I've got these 2 little things. Right, so I then asked you, do you remember how doing that then?
Yes.
You've made these notes, same distance,
Oh, no, I haven't.
at 90 degrees, they could be important to you. Because, for instance, in a test, I could either ask you to construct a 90-degree angle, I could ask you to construct the perpendicular bisector, or I could ask you to construct the locus of points. You do remember what I said yesterday, which was no arcs?
No.
No marks. Put a little equals inside there today. So if you don't show me your arcs, or they're not nicely neat rather than swiveled over, okay. Don't go over your arcs in freehand, like with a pen or something afterwards. They don't need to be dark, they just need to be barely visible.
Is this?
Okay. Yeah. Right. So I set a challenge.
No.
Can we start?
Well, it is on the video, so you can go back and fill in any gaps now. I do want to move, because we did this yesterday.
Is our sound recorded right now?
Yes.
Hi.
Yeah, Liam.
How did you not know that? There's a bar over there.
Okay. So, I set you a challenge, which was draw a line, have a point either ends, but then a point somewhere that's not in the middle, and I said about having a perpendicular line through that particular point.
Oh yeah, right.
So we went to it and said, right, so do you want to follow through on this one now if you haven't already done it before? Now what's important is the line that we're creating has to go through the middle of 2 points. 2 points that are equidistant from that point. Right, that's what we know. So we have 2 points, but they're not equidistant. So we actually need to create another point that is the same distance from that middle one as one of the others. So what we do is this. I'm going to take the shorter distance, open your compass up. Alright, so here's a compass. Open the compass up to that distance on your book. Turn it round and put a little arc. That is the same distance. Okay? That makes sense? So, if I did it, so I've got my compass like this, opened up. If I then take that, I might get to do this. If I then take that and I move that over here, there's my compass. So actually that line should be a bit closer. Okay. Alright? So now, by doing that, I've now got another point here, which this one is equidistant from. Okay? And now what I do is what I did before. So this becomes my A and my B. So I ignore this one now, I'm not interested. So again, I open my compass up to more than halfway. I do my arc. Now you'll get to realise that actually I don't need the whole arc. I only need where they cross. So I just go a bit at the top and I go around and I do a bit at the bottom. Then I do my arc the other side, do my arc at the top, arc at the bottom. Okay, that's actually all the construction lines I need. And then if I do this, that's not bad. That's not bad for a guess on a screen, is it?
Yeah.
Yours is going to be better, but so that's how I can do it exactly to a point. Yeah. Well, I've got you can in your own time. Do it at home. Well, actually, it's an interesting one. You've got a right angle there. That's what I was going to say. What we have also, by the way, is a right angle. So because it's a perpendicular bisector, you've created a right angle. Okay. Now, I'll tell you what. Well, why don't you do it? So Steph's asked. He wants to have a go at constructing a square. So why don't you have a go? So the idea is you ignore all the squares in your book and you try and construct a square. Alright? Has to be a square, which means all sides have to be exactly the same length. Try and ignore the squares on your page. You'll notice mine has got nothing. Okay? See whether you can do it. Construct a square. How would you go about it? If I want to turn this into a square, all I need to know is if that's the centre, right? If this is the centre of the square, well, I know A and B are equally spaced. Okay? So all I need to do is get the same distance along these sides, and then I've got my four corners. So how can I get marks along this line that are the same distance from the centre to B and the centre in A? How would you do it?
Make another dot.
How?
With your compass and measure the two.
So this is what you do. So you use your perpendicular bisector that you've already got from this problem. You open your compass up to the same as this. So this can be the radius of your circle. So you open from the centre point, open to B or to A, and then what you do is you measure arc round and you put a point there. That should then be the same as B, and then you come round and put a point there. Then all you need to do is join those points with lines. That's one way of doing
I
it.
got it.
One way of doing it. Now mine isn't a very good square, obviously, but
That's exactly how I
Can you put this on the
it is on the video. So, shall I mention that again?
Yeah.
I just found out.
So let's say I have created my perpendicular bisector. Alright? There is another way, by the way, which is to create another perpendicular bisector and go along here and then come. That's a harder way, it's a longer way, but it can be done. But I've got my perpendicular bisector. It doesn't have to be, I could have just a normal line. Okay? And then, almost. I then, guys, stop. So I open my compass up to the distance from the centre, right? So that's what it says. So let's say my compass is open up like that. I then take that distance and I rotate around, so it could be there. It's already going to be there, and it's going to be up there. And then I join those points with a line, and that gives me my square. Now my square doesn't have to be flat base on the bottom, does it? Just because it's rotated round in space like that doesn't mean it's not a square. Yeah? Yeah?
I found out
It
another
is
way.
true.
There are more than one way to do it. If you want to do it at home, let me know. And like I said, this program, if you want to go with the challenges of it, it's quite good fun. I get addicted to it, actually. I start trying to do it. And you can do them, but then it says you can do it in less moves or things like that. If you want it, drop me an email and I will send you the link. And you can sign up and have a go. Okay? Yeah.